I need to tell you, first of all, I was a high school English teacher. And when we would teach the kids with literature, sometimes you had to give the background. Maybe it was history, but anyway, a special background. So, for background, how many of you have been to Pinsick? How many of you, when you were at Pinsick, had occasion to visit the Mid-Rome Royal Encampment? So then, how many of you know what Runestone Hill is? All right. I camped right next to Runestone Hill with probably, I think, the best household in SCA. Holteronis, Dukes of Hanover, Mistress Wilson's household. And if you know, and those of you who don't know, Runestone Hill is the steepest hill at Pinsick. A lot of Pinsick is very flat, but there are some hills. And our encampment is next to Mid-Rome Royal, they abut, at the top of the hill. It also needs you to know, for the story, that my birthday is August 4th, happens to be Peace Week, and it gives a reason for a cake for the campers. And also, many of you who have known me for years know I am stupidly, stubbornly independent. And yes, Max is nodding. Well, I had some physical problems. I have a degenerative arthritis in the spine and 5 different total joint replacements. And one of them was I wasn't walking well. This was a few years ago. So members of my household bought for me a rolling walker. Now, I had never used a rolling walker, did not have one at home because I'm stupidly independent. By the way, with my students, I like audience participation, so I will for you too. One night, I had to go to the porta potties, porta johns, whatever you call them, and you know they're at the top, the Runestone Hill next to Mid-Rome Royal, and you also know, or if you don't know, we'll tell you, it's very dark in that area by night, and some people haven't put their torches up yet. So I had a little flashlight that I attached to the handlebars, and I didn't know how to use the rolling walker very well. But I went to porta potty at night. It was dark. It was so dark. And I have a vision problem, which made it even darker. Well, I went to Porta John's and I came out. And I had with me a purse that had been made for me. And you know, like with the portable rolling walker, if somebody gives you a gift, you have to use it, right? Say it with me. You have
to use it.
Well, this purse was bigger than I needed, but it was a gift, so I had to use it. Well, I had it on the seat of the walker, and it was dark. It was really dark. And you don't put a flashlight on when you're walking unless you put it towards the... Anyway, I was walking, and I felt something happening. The purse was slipping, and it slipped off the walker. Now, I'm making excuses for myself because I was kind of a neophyte on the rolling walker. I stopped. I bent down to get the purse, and the walker went down without me because I had forgotten to set the brakes. And here I was. I had the vision thing. I couldn't see where the walker went. And I heard somebody coming up behind me in the dark. And I could see enough. There was 2 young ladies and girls. So I said, "Ladies, do you have a flashlight?" They said, "No. Do you need help?" And they came over and saw this little lady. I said, "Well, my rolling walker left me and went away." And they looked at me and they said, one of them said, "What's a rolling walker?" we explained it, and then we said, well, what color is it? It's dark, and it's dark out. So they said, we'll help you. Why did it leave? And I had to say, because I forgot to set the brakes. And they did find it and brought it back. It gone, like from here to the exit. And I was really embarrassed. But when you think about it, I gave them something special for pins. You have to have the no shit, there I was stories. And this was the girls' stories. Now, how they tell it, they'd say, we saw this little old lady, she's only about this tall, and she was standing and she was like, help me. So we came, and we said, what is it? And she had stupidly forgot to set the brakes on her walker. And it rolled out almost all the way down Rootstone Hill. So we had to run down to we brought it back to her. And it was all because she forgot to set the brakes.